What up, YouTube? This is Kick It Culture. I am Sean Gardner, and thanks for kicking it with me. On this channel, I like to talk about all things philosophy, personal development, and athletics. If you don't mind dropping a like on this video and subscribing, it'd be greatly appreciated. Check me out on Instagram at I am Sean Gardner. And without further ado, into the video. So today's topic is about a bit of a controversy in the Olympics regarding an athlete named Simone Biles and mental health. I think many people would be familiar with Simone Biles, and those same people would also say that she's not only an elite gymnast, but also an elite athlete overall. Gymnastics is not my field, but from what I understand about Simone Biles, she seems to be a very dedicated and decorated gymnast. She seems to have won many competitions in the past and has done so with like the utmost skill. So naturally, she'd be selected to participate in the Olympics on the USA national team. And the Olympics in itself could be argued to be one of the largest, most competitive international competitions around. So to be invited to such a competition, I think is a pretty amazing feat. You know, she's considered to be one of the best around in her field, but now she's here at a different tier of competing. And not only she's one of the best, but she's one of the best in the world. So as she begins to compete, I believe she mentions here and there that she just doesn't feel like she's in the correct headspace to bring the best out of her. And I think in one particular event, she just decided to back out and she can't compete. Many people were definitely upset about it. They were giving her a lot of grief, saying that she's not standing up for her country. She is kind of punking out. A lot of different narratives, all the while kind of belittling her initial statements, saying while competing that she wasn't really feeling up to par. Now, to be real, I think if you're really a dedicated athlete at any point in your life, you definitely go through bouts of uncertainty and doubtfulness of your talent and where you want to be in certain regards of your journey. But also, when you reach a certain level of success, there are expectations now set for you that maybe you weren't expecting yourself. A lot of athletes start a sport for the pure love of it, for the sake of kind of escaping the world for a little bit and enjoying themselves, truly enjoying themselves. Now, if you have someone who's skillful at that sport and they actually want to pursue it as a career and they make it, oh man, that's always every athlete's dream, right? But when things can go wrong, when things don't go your way, when things are, you know, unexpected injuries, you might get cut, or you don't make a team, or you get traded or transferred, whatever it may be, a lot of things can affect you negatively, which impact your overall attitude and perception of your situation around you. For some athletes on the journey, it might not even be something relating to the actual sport. You know, it could be something that has to do with real life outside the sport that kind of derails you or makes you lose focus of your overall goal, right? Wherever the stress comes from, that unfortunately is what separates the people who make it and those who don't. Because you got to remember, Simone Biles is a 1% type of athlete, you know, and she's definitely probably have shown that type of grit in the past to get her to that point right now. I'd like to change the scenario just a little bit. Let's say instead of her mentioning her mental health concerns, let's change that variable and say that she was mentioning a tweaked ankle and did everything else the same, but actually performed in the event that she pulled out of. So hypothetically speaking, let's say she broke her ankle. Most people are not going to say that she was dedicated to the cause or that she was pushing through the pain. Most people would say that it was a bad idea to perform on a tweaked ankle, despite the platform that we're on. Prior to, though, she did mention that her ankle was not feeling well. And despite the warnings, she decided to participate in the next event, and that was the result. And now she has to deal with a broken ankle and is going to have to deal with being out longer than something that would have healed less than something like a sprained ankle. I don't think because sometimes you can see a physical injury, you should belittle or push aside mental health concerns. I think your body, mentally, physically, and spiritually would always give you some type of feedback of whether or not you're in balance, right? I think mentally, with how you choose to think about things, physically with your diet and what you put into your body and how you stay active and like in motion, and spiritually what you do with the thoughts you think about. And with those three things working together, I believe life is always giving you some type of feedback. Now, what we choose to do with that feedback is kind of the whole point. You know, are we going to raise our mental health concern when we know we're not at our best, or are we going to push through, give a shitty performance, and still get the backlash, right? So what are we going to do? What's best for us? You know, I think that's what it really comes down to. Yeah, we can have all the opportunity in the world, and we can be in our zone or in our element, in our field, but sometimes the universe, you know, sometimes things happen where we're just not on our A game. And it really is up to the individual to make that judgment call, because no one else is going to deal with the repercussions of what happens to my body, right? I just have to go out there and perform to get the job done. But that still doesn't resolve anything with me. So I can't imagine the pressure someone like Simone Biles endured heading on over to the Olympic stage and getting ready to perform and do her best with such high expectations, not only from herself, right, but from her teammates, her coach, friends, and family, which already is a lot for someone to really carry on their back when they're really there to really do it for themselves, really, at the end of the day, themselves and their team, right? But then you throw the weight of your country on top of that, the pride of your country. I can see that being a bit of a scary thought. And if you're not all the way there mentally, it doesn't benefit you or your team to step out in that condition, knowing that you're not going to provide the best results. All in all, I think those who suffer from mental health conditions can become exceptional athletes, given that they take the proper steps necessary to correct and maintain their mental health. You know, I think is if we as athletes fix the mind, the body will soon follow. And if you do that, you're able to give your all when you step on that stage, you know, mind, body, and soul. So those are my thoughts on today's topic. I appreciate you guys checking in with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. And check me out on Instagram, and I'll see you on the next one.